What's going on? What's going on, Sports Game Vision World? Hank is back in the place. Welcome to my spot. Welcome to my pod, my, my place of peace, the sports world, Sports Game Vision, where we talk NBA, wrestling, and much, much more. I'm doing a vertical, getting my vertical up like I'm back in the gym. Vertical live here at YouTube for the show. Wanted to jump in real quick. I haven't been in here for a few days. Didn't know when I'm gonna be able to jump back in on a live. Uh, Getting busy out here. Got a lot of things going on, but um, yeah, man. If you see by the title, got a few things I wanted to talk about. Um, in particular, um, what's going on in the NBA right now as we see the long time show inside the NBA is going to be on its final season on TNT, as TNT did match Amazon and I believe NBC's price, but the NBA rejected. And the terms of what the NBA did, they said that it wasn't a true match. I guess that's their way of getting out of the deal. Now, big companies, they always find a way to get out of negotiations and out of contracts. If you work in the regular world, as we call it, and you got contracts, these companies know how to navigate things. So the NBA, I'm pretty sure Adam Silver's a lawyer, just like David Stern was a lawyer. They know how to get through some things, plus the legal team that they have with all those billions and billions of dollars. Like The Rock would say, not the millions and millions, but the billions and billions of the NBA's money. They're able to do what they need to do to get out of situations they don't like. And if you've kind of been following the situation for a little bit, the news reports and all that stuff, the league in TNT have kind of been at it for a little bit. The new CEO or the head honcho, when he came into the company a few years back, he said the NBA they didn't need the NBA, and I'm sure it ruffled the NBA feathers a little bit in their relationship. Of course, when things happen in relationships, you can work it out, but possibly behind the scenes, things weren't as that good, especially when you got new brass and new people coming into the situation. It takes a while for you to get used to each other and possibly what's up though, what's up Mr. 3000. I appreciate it, we're gonna touch on that too. Shout out to Get Your Bars Media up in the building, in the chat. Yeah, go subscribe to his channel. And before I get on, I forgot to say it for myself. As you jump on in here, please like, share, subscribe, comment, peaceful, nice things. Otherwise, as my boy CT say, you get blocked, and we get you up out of here. But yeah, as far as the new deal is concerned, um, yeah, they said they didn't need the NBA, and of course, numbers are skewed as far as viewership because the cable cutters. We're all part of it. I'm part of the generation that probably ushered it in with the Napsters and the peer-to-peer sites, free to air, all that stuff. It hurt cable television. It hurt music. It hurt the movie industry. And NBA right now, the numbers don't look exactly the way they should be. And TNT may have looked at it, especially the new honcho, obviously, and said they don't need them. So, um, but yeah, it ruffled the feathers. I guess the relationship got strained. And with this new way of getting content, the NBA is looking at it like we need to build a platform where we're able to be seen everywhere. The NFL is already doing it and they're doing a pretty good job. The NBA is like we need to be on your phone, your tablet, your computer, your television, your game system seamlessly, easy from multiple companies. Instead of just one or two, now they got NBC, NBC Peacock, which is streaming. They got what is it? The ESPN Disney. They're gonna do stuff on Disney now as well. Of course, Hulu's probably a part of it too, because they own part of Hulu, or maybe even all of it, but they own a big portion of Hulu. And then you've got the what's the last company? Amazon. Amazon's reach is really huge. And of course, they're buying up all the companies in the world. They've got the most money out here. I'm sure bigger pockets than Warner Brothers Discovery, even though they got some nice pockets too. I'm pocket watching, definitely pocket watching. But yeah, Amazon's money is deep, so TNT is very upset at this point, and they're talking about taking legal action, as they probably should if they actually met the terms of matching the actual deal. They probably should, but I don't think it's a fight they're going to win. Hopefully, maybe they can become a small package provider, which I don't think the NBA is going to do it because they would have done it already. They would have ironed out a path for them to have some type of smaller package to be inside, keep the relationship alive. um, I read somewhere that somehow Sky Media is getting NBA games too. I don't know if somehow maybe Netflix finds a way into the picture. But yeah, this deal is what, like 11 years, 78, 77, 77 billion dollar deal for the NBA. It's huge. It's very, very big. And again, just think about all the ways you can watch the game now. And it's going to be on 7 days a week. 7 days a week, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see if I can pull this up here. Who got what? The 80 regular season games for Disney, 100 regular season games for NBC, and Amazon has play-in game, the NBA Cup. Um, they got a Black Friday game. Um, in some of the playoffs. And I'm sure that deal's going to expand because they got that money. So they're going to make some more deals. And they probably got some terms in there. And then, of course, NBC, Peacock, that relationship is back. If you're older like me or a young veteran like myself, you remember NBC having the NBA games. They're gonna bring the John Tesh round ball rock. It says it's gonna be a new variation. My guy Mike Tirico from Michigan, shout outs from my hometown. He's gonna be one of the head announcers and broadcasters on the new Peacock network or deal. And they're gonna get double headers. They're gonna get conference finals. They're gonna get the All Star weekend and USA basketball, which is cool. Disney is getting, like I said, the 80 games. They're getting the NBA finals. They're getting 5 Christmas games, which you know about that. Um, they're getting the first day games, for first day of ball games, conference finals, and they're keeping the draft. So yeah, man, it's a big deal. Not to mention they've carved out the WNBA as well. They're going to get 200, 2 billion, $2 billion of that money for their league, and they're going to be on all these platforms as well. Not to mention, I'm sure like but they had Ion and all that stuff. I think they were on Lifetime too. But they got more ways to see the game. So all these platforms that they're on is amazing. And not to mention, I don't know how social media will be involved. I'm sure YouTube and all that other stuff, but just off these platforms, wherever you want to watch the game, you can watch it. Not to mention YouTube TV. I'm sure you can they'll still have stuff on there. Excuse me, that's a good platform. But yeah, and then also I read an article that, excuse me, Amazon is going to take over the NBA TV stuff, which was part of Warner Brothers Discovery. So it's going to be a seamless switch. I was wondering how that was going to happen. I thought that the NBA was probably going to let Warner Brothers keep that the NBA TV and maybe give them like a few games and the rights to do the news and stuff on there. But I guess not. Everything's going to go to Amazon, and also they're trying to get inside the NBA. And as we touch more on that, please guys, if you come on in, please smash that button, thumb it, thumb like you're playing a video game, hit it, or hit it once and let go. I mean that you win the game right there. But yeah, they're trying to acquire inside the NBA. And a few months ago, Adam Silver said that you don't know there's some things behind the scenes where you might still see inside the NBA. I read an article too where the lead brass at Warner Brothers is saying there's no way they're getting inside the NBA, which I think is a mistake. If they're actually going to lose the show, and there's no way. I mean the contract, might as well license the show with Ernie, Charles, Kenny, and Shaq to Amazon, which I'm sure Amazon would have no problem um, paying the licensing fee to bring those guys on. probably even staying in that studio. They even said in the article they'll build a studio in Atlanta for those guys. With Ernie in particular, who is Atlanta bred. He's that guy in Atlanta, and of course his father worked for TNT, so it's like it's a family affair. You know, I'm sure he doesn't really want to leave at all, but for the right price and the right licensing fee, the right things, I'm sure that he'll reconsider. But at least I think the other four guys will definitely be available. But hopefully they can bring Ernie. You really can't do inside the NBA without Ernie being a part of it. I mean, you can, but he's a part of it until he steps down and says, "Hey, I'm done." I think having those guys together is the smart thing to do. But yeah, Amazon said their NFL show was based off of Inside the NBA, and you know, seeing that show go by is gonna suck. It's gonna suck. It's definitely gonna suck to see it go. This will be the final year of the contract. So this coming up year, 24-25 NBA season, this will be the final year for Inside the NBA on TNT at least. Hopefully, they'll find a way to bring it on whatever platform, or if they find a way to iron out some type of package for TNT to keep at least the Inside the NBA and some type of small NBA rights, that would be cool. We know that they got college football coming, and also another big deal is uh, is that if you're a wrestling fan like me on this page, we talk NBA and then wrestling is probably number two. Um, AEW looks like they're going to get that deal, the new deal from Warner Brothers Discovery. They're got the video package. They're starting to put their content on the app right now. That's a big deal. So that means that the contract they got is probably sold up. Um, and Tony Khan is going to be able to keep this thing running. I mean, he's got money himself. We all know that. Tony Khan has got a lot of money. His dad net worth is huge, so that's one of the reasons why he doesn't have to worry about a lot because he's able to burn some of his own personal money. But of course, if you got a business, you're trying to make your business profitable with other people's money and of course the consumer's money. So yeah, it looks like there's a deal in place where all this stuff is going to be on um, Max and Warner Brothers Discovery. So they do have content, live content, sports content. It's just you're not going to have the NBA after all these years. That's very tough. I think they still got college basketball as well for the tournament. But you know how that goes. When that contract goes up with the NBA not being there, could we possibly see the college basketball stuff leave off of there and go somewhere else? That's going to be very interesting to see. But yeah, that's crazy to see that um, we're gonna lose TNT. We're gonna lose inside the NBA. But also in that deal, we just talked about the um, the WNBA. Um, did you see that the All Star game drew in 3.4 million people for the women's game? That's awesome. That was a game I really wanted to see because it's basically WNBA players versus WNBA players, Team USA versus the WNBA All Stars. Very competitive. Of course, we know the actual All Stars beat Team USA, which isn't crazy. I mean, those are women that probably should have been on the team as well. But yeah, they drew good numbers. I wonder what the men's game can do to better their All Star game. They got to come up with something that will rival something like that. Even when it comes Olympic time again, somehow maybe they can come up with an All Star select team during the trials, like they just had the trials, and that would be interesting for TV. Give them a tough test, well, even though they got a tough test anyway with these Germany and South Sudan and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean the world is really caught up, but still, I mean for entertainment purposes, it'd be nice to see the NBA players versus the NBA players like the WNBA did. But they drew a great number in for their WNBA game, and of course, Arike won the MVP. She went off with 34 points in the second half, which is nuts. She was juking them and hitting all type of shots with tough defense on her. Great player. Um, yeah, but also I didn't touch on this. I'm looking at my chart here. The NBA again, they're trying to reach more people. That's the biggest reason for this switch. They got a now as a kid, I don't know how old you guys are, but as a kid, they marketed very well to the younger audience with like Sports Illustrated for kids, all those different things to try to bring the younger audience in. They're going to do a deal with Disney and Marvel this time where they're going to incorporate the Marvel characters with the NBA players to go to younger audiences to bring them in. So to keep the game younger and raise them up into, being basketball NBA fans, that's kind of cool, because I can see myself in my head as a young kid with like Iron Man with LeBron under it or something, or Superman with KD, and they got some type of cartoon. They play basketball. So yeah, when I grew up, they had the wrestling friends and all that stuff with all the wrestlers and the cartoons. So that would be it's gonna be awesome. They incorporated with the new technology, probably the not claymation. What's that thing called? Like Pixar type stuff. Whatever they decide to do, I'm sure it's gonna be cool. But yeah, they're trying to branch out in every area possible to grow the game and get the numbers up. And then by the next deal, you see these players are making what 60 million a year. It's gonna be real nuts after this next 10-year agreement. So yeah, shout out to the league and the NBA, and the WNBA as well. Um, I'm looking here, just touching on some well, world basketball. Um, Steph Curry. I don't know if you've seen the news about him saying I'll continue to make the decisions that are best for me and my career. At the end of the day, I want to win. It is a situation where you're a bottom feeder, and it's just because you want to stay there, I'd have a hard time with that. So he's basically saying, I guess now being around the gang of guys. Shout out to Seven Mitchell who said this, that maybe LeBron is recruiting in this process in the World Games. And go subscribe to his page, Lakerland and seven Best of Seven Sports. But yeah, he said that he thinks LeBron is recruiting to get players, and we see that Steph is saying different things out here. He's even got a picture with Kevin Durant talking about they're talking of what do you say? Um, Everybody loves a reunion. Lately, we've been thinking about a spinoff. So KD spins off of Phoenix. Uh, Steph spins off of Golden State. Maybe LeBron spins off of the Lakers and goes to his team, the Las Vegas LeBrons. I don't know what you would call it, but uh, yeah, all three of them together for a last hurrah. Try to go out the ring. I don't know. Be very very interesting to see that. But of course, the ownership and at the Warriors have always wanted to keep Steph. As you can see in the way they've operated, he's priority number one. But he's saying winning. And as far as the rumors are concerned, or as far as the back behind the scenes right now, this whole summer, the rumor is to get Lori marketing. They said they have a very, very high chance of getting Lori from the Utah Jazz. And I think that Golden State has enough draft picks and stuff to make that happen because Danny Ainge is going to try to tax you like he's California. He wants everything. He wants your kids. He wants your wife. He wants your cars. He wants your houses. He wants your bank account to get whatever he got on his roster. That's how Danny Ainge is. He got to come up. He got to win. And he may. I don't know if he might take a discount with them, but I've never seen Danny Ainge take a discount for anybody as far as being in the back office. So let's see what happens with that. Um, you know, Interesting to see this talk from Steph Curry saying that he might leave the Golden State Warriors. Um, yeah, and as you come in, shout out to you. Let me jump into this real quick because I've been talking sports this whole time. One of the headlines of my video is thank you for the 3,000. And I've been here. This platform's only been up for maybe a year or so now, and it was tough for me to start it, but I did it. It's something I wanted to do, and Everybody that's come along and subscribed to this channel and helped it grow, is helping it grow. I thank you very much. It keeps me going, it keeps me motivated. Seeing you guys come in and subscribe and leave comments and like all the content and show support. Um, Looking to continue to grow with the platform. I definitely enjoy being on YouTube, obviously, and all the social medias. I love that too, as well, being able to connect with you, the audience, and talk a little bit of sports content. Um, you know, come and support me everywhere, but especially here on these YouTube streets. Thank you very much for supporting me. And again, looking forward to continue to go further and make this an even bigger thing. We trying to get to where the Pat McAfee's is at, and it's gonna take some work to get there, but we can do it, and I appreciate that. But just wanted to thank you there. Definitely a thank you. For now, we're gonna jump back into a little bit about sports talk, is what we do here and more. Um, I saw this post by Corey Graves. If you watch WWE, he kind of touched on something that I think is very important. Um, we see these guys put their bodies on, and these women put their bodies on the line to entertain us, and it's a very physical sport. But he said something I thought was interesting. He said, "This is not meant to sound judgmental or incite us versus them or question anybody's passion or talent or intentions. This just coming from a guy whose career ended from a few too many accidental headshots. The art of the business is protecting your ourselves and each other. Trust me, the gaps in memory are not worth it. I promise." Um, yeah, I mean, obviously his career ended short. If you was watching him, he was in NXT. He's now an announcer, married to Carmella in WWE, and I'm sure he got that juice to want to get back out there. But that's the name of the game. Bret Hart always talked about protecting. That's the one thing that he was very, mindful of, and he was proud of himself about, and he guys always, loved him about. Besides considering him one of the best of all time or one of the greatest of all time to do it, is that he protected guys. Every match he was in, he never hurt nobody. You got to perform the moves the right way and don't take risks, and just follow the guidelines. This way, you can all go home pretty unscathed. Accidents happen, but recklessness will cause somebody's career, in somebody's life, severely change somebody's life. I just seen one guy had one match and now he's paralyzed. So it happens. Accidents happen, but if you continue to be reckless or just doing things, again, you want to entertain us. We want the good stuff. Even as a kid, I used to love the chair shots on the head. Now a lot of those guys are, they're mentally kind of out of it now, taking too many shots. So, protection is very vital and valuable. And I agree with Corey Graves right there. Some of just simplify things. You can still do great moves without hurting yourself or others. And sell, make it look real without, again, putting your livelihood at risk and others as well. But yeah, trying to see if anything else I got. Oh yeah, my guy KCP was talking about the Lakers this past season and how he said they were out of gas. The Not the Lakers themselves, probably the Lakers were out of gas, but he was saying that the Denver Nuggets, who was the champions of the prior year, uh, Boston this year, Denver the last year, if you were watching that series, the Lakers were up and winning most of those games, pretty much all of them, and then Denver would storm back and beat them. I think Jamal Murray had like two game-winning shots in that series, but the Lakers, they felt like they should have probably beat them. And even Draymond Green agreed that, yeah, I thought they should have beat y'all too. But it just shows you just the little small things that can cost you a series. Was it coaching? Was it Darvin Ham that cost him that series? Or do you blame that on the players? Of course, I feel like it's a mixture of both. But absolutely, you know, I definitely, even if they would have lost the series, it shouldn't have been, like it was a sweep. It should have been 6 games or even 7, because they were definitely handing them the business for most of the game. And as we watch these world games right now, we see Anthony Davis and LeBron James showing out. So, what is needed for them to go to the upper part of the Western Conference and possibly have another chance to win a championship? No, I know they're upset out there in LA land because Boston got that other one. Now they got to go and try to get theirs and tie them up again so they can surpass them. But yeah, KCP said, yeah, we were expecting to lose, but they pulled it out. They showed the heart of a champion, but then you saw what happened in the next round. They got smacked by 84 Jordan, Ant Man in Minnesota, and then they got beat by Dallas. So um, the series that was probably needed to be had was Denver versus Dallas. Probably been an even more of a marquee matchup because of Luca and the Joker. Everybody probably wanted to see that as well. But yeah, this it was interesting to see KCP admit that he's got another one. I didn't watch the whole thing, but he's talking about the bubble championship. I got to see that one too, and how he feels about that ring. Um, but yeah, trying to see what I got you here. Oh yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna watch that. We're gonna jump back in on that topic on the platform. And as you can see here, I'm doing the more of the vertical lives more often. I'm gonna go back to my other lives as well. But okay, this is YouTube, so you got to use the stuff that they want you to use. And I appreciate everyone's coming in here. Please like the video again. Like the video, it helps the channel grow, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification so you see the videos and shorts come out, which is flying out way more often now. You'll get the notification to check it out. And before we tap out here, we on the platform, I got a short about John Cena leaving. He's going to retire. It's like the inside the NBA is out the way. John Cena about to be out the way this coming up year. 2025 is going to be the last run of his career. At least that's what he's billing it to be. We know most wrestlers always say that and come back, but in his case, because of Hollywood, I can see him living up to that. And the difference between him and The Rock and like Batista is that he was he might be the greatest of all time. Just being honest with you. John Cena might be the greatest of all time. He had like a 10-year run of him being the guy. I don't even think like Hogan didn't even have that. Maybe I can't remember, but Cena with all the pay-per-views he was on, he was Mr. Headline, and he carried the franchise for a long time while Rock was gone, Stone Cold was gone. He went through the PG era of the WWE, coming from the Attitude Era, which is a very, very tough thing to do. And the question is, should they put the championship on him one more time, which would eclipse Ric Flair's record of 16? They're tied right now. Now, in context, if you know wrestling, Ric Flair has way more than 16 championships. He's got in the 20s, almost maybe 30 championship runs in his career. The WWE doesn't recognize those runs, but in the WWE, they recognize 16 of them. So John Cena can go ahead and get the 17th and be considered the greatest. They already considered him the greatest, but he could have that one thing that makes him, most people like the rings in basketball. He'll have 17 world championships, and I think he deserves it again. Having to hold the company on his back as long as he did, including while they were grooming Roman Reigns, remember he was getting booed out the building for a while Vince McMahon was trying to push him and the fans were pushing back on him. Now everybody knows him as the bloodline Roman, but he had some tough years trying to get to where he's at now. And John Cena was the one that still held the company on his back while the development of Roman Reigns was happening. And, I think he deserves that 17th nod. I even think his buddy, what's his name? RKO, Randy Orton, I believe he deserves one more reign as well. But of course, Cena deserves the record. Yeah, but what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section about everything I've talked about. How do you feel about inside the NBA possibly being done? How do you feel about the new deals for the NBA and the WNBA? How do you feel about KD and Steph and maybe LeBron even teaming up beyond Team USA? And of course, how do you feel about um, John Cena maybe getting one more championship? Um, be interesting to see. And also, before we get out of here, did y'all see about Cassian? They about to kick him out the building. That's kind of weird, kind of wild. Top creator, he helped build up a building, and the owner's about to kick him out now. He done made the value of the building go up. Now he's gonna kick him out. That's wild. I just thought that was crazy as a creator that you got to go through some of that stuff because Kai Cenat is making that bank. So, but yeah, shout out to everybody in there for watching. I thank you again. Thank you again for subscribing and helping me get over that 3,000 mark. And we're looking to go further and further. I appreciate you. Like, share, subscribe, and we will be back. Peace.